Jaren Jackson Jr. will solve all of the New York Knicks' problems. Recently, there's been some reports and some rumors of Jaren Jackson potentially being available and the New York Knicks potentially being one of those teams that he could get traded to. After the Memphis Grizzlies decided to trade away Desmond Bane, it appears that they're going in a full rebuild. And if they are going in a full rebuild, the next guy that could get traded is Jaren Jackson Jr. And if the New York Knicks were able to acquire Jackson Jr., it would be a huge upgrade for them and it would be a perfect fit for the New York Knicks. But quickly, before we get the video started, for those of you who may not know, my name is Juicy Sports. I make opinionated Knicks and opinionated NBA content. And if you guys enjoy videos similar to this, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that post notification bell. But anyways, let's get into it. Ever since making it to the NBA, Jaren Jackson Jr. has just consistently improved his game season after season. And the great thing about Triple J is he's one of those guys that's great at everything. On the offensive side of the court, he can shoot the ball, he can drive to the basket, he can even facilitate at times, and of course on the defensive side of the court, he's one of the best defenders in the entire NBA. He's been a guy who's consistently seen as one of the best defenders year after year, and he's one of those guys that would just be perfect on any team he could potentially go to. So when there was the rumors about the Grizzlies potentially looking for a rebuild, and after trading away Desmond Bane, it does seem like they will be going in the direction of a rebuild, the New York Knicks' name definitely came up in connection with Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, a question that some of you may be wondering at this point is why would the Knicks want Triple J? Well, in my opinion, as I touched upon before, Triple J fits in with essentially any organization he gets traded to, but especially if he got traded to an organization like the New York Knicks, who are in championship contention at this point, and who are in desperate need of defense as well as some additional offensive players on the roster. I think this is a perfect fit. On the offensive side of the court, Triple J is perfect. When you play him alongside Karl-Anthony Towns and or Jalen Brunson, he's going to do a great job at just spreading out the court. Triple J, as I said before, he can create for himself, he can drive to the basket, he can create his own shot, but at the same time, he is able to be one of those guys that just stays at the top of the key, stays at the wing, and he's able to hit that catch and shoot three-point jump shot at a very high level. So when he's playing alongside a Jalen Brunson or alongside a Karl-Anthony Towns, just having another guy that can spread out the floor is going to be very beneficial for this New York Knicks roster. And also, another factor for why he'll be very effective is due to his defense. Obviously last year during the regular season, but mostly during the playoffs, the biggest issue with the New York Knicks was playing both Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns together. When they were playing together offensively, it was a little bit iffy, but most importantly, on the defensive side, you have two guys that are not really able to play high-level defense. And because of that, the Knicks had to slot in a Mitchell Robinson to that lineup in order to help bolster their defense. And even that didn't work all that well. But the problems with slotting in a Mitchell Robinson is now when you go on the offensive side of the court, you have a guy that's going to be stuck in the paint, making it harder for Jalen Brunson to drive, making it harder for Karl-Anthony Towns to drive, and now you have the paint clogged up somewhat. But if you added a Jaren Jackson Jr. to this lineup, now all of a sudden, because Jaren Jackson Jr. is such a great defender, he can help hide both Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, while on the offensive side of the court playing a true 5-out. So the Knicks offense would run a lot better as well as their defense. But another benefit to adding Triple J to this lineup is due to the fact that you're now adding another guy that can score. So you can really stagger both Karl-Anthony Towns' minutes with Jaren Jackson Jr., or you can stagger Triple J's minutes with Jalen Brunson, and overall you can essentially have one of those three guys out there at all times scoring the basketball at a very high level. With the starting lineup, Triple J can be more of a catch and shoot three-point shooter who somewhat looks to score for his own shots as well, but when he's playing with that bench unit, that's really where Triple J can go to work. Drive to the basket, run the pick and roll or pick and pop, post up, hit those catch and shoot threes, and that's really where he can help the Knicks score a lot. In those minutes where Jalen Brunson is not out there, the Knicks sometimes have an issue with scoring. But if you had Triple J out there scoring for you, picking up the slack with your bench unit when he's staggered with those guys at times, I think it would be a huge benefit to this Knicks roster. So overall for the Knicks, I think it makes a lot of sense. It helps you on both sides of the court. You then can have Mitchell Robinson come off the bench, and at that point you can have a guy coming off the bench that's going to help you rebound, that's going to help you defend at a very high level. Of course, as I mentioned before, you can stagger the minutes. Maybe you play Mitch with the starters sometimes, maybe you play Triple J with the starters or the bench unit sometimes, and it just gives you a lot of options. But now, a question that some of you are probably wondering at this this point is, can the Knicks even do this trade? So as I touched upon before, I think there is some interest from the Grizzlies to move on from Triple J. He's obviously one of their best players, their second best player, and at this point he'll probably able to acquire the Memphis Grizzlies a lot of assets. So for the New York Knicks, some assets that they can potentially move on from are probably Mikal Bridges or an OG Anunoby and some picks alongside with that. In my opinion, I think a trade for Triple J would be Mikal Bridges, a first round pick from the Washington Wizards, maybe a pick swap or two from the New York Knicks for Triple J. I think a trade like that would be relatively fair. Triple J is needing an extension relatively soon. I think if the Knicks were to trade for him, they would extend him, of course. But at the end of the day, the fact that he doesn't have too many years on his contract left, I think could lower his trade value at least a little bit. And I think a trade centered around Mikal Bridges, pick swaps, the Washington Wizards pick would probably be enough to get Triple J. But of course, only time will tell what the Memphis Grizzlies do end up wanting for Triple J. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Triple J could legitimately get traded to the New York Knicks, or do you not think so? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy, check one of these two videos popping up now. And until the next time, peace out, guys.